Hi my dears, today we're going to learn how to play Greensleeves, a really famous song, a folk English song, this one. We'll start with simple version of it and then afterwards, once you get that one, so I will give you a couple of variations how you can go to something a little bit more interesting. So for instance, you can use deep arpeggio, so you can sound like this one. Or you can sound even like something like this. Anything is possible, or with longer arpeggios and so on. So I'll just give you a couple of clues how you can experiment and make your own arrangements. So let's get to it. Alright, so let's get to it. So it basically consists out of two sections, and you can play it in any key you like. I personally really like D minor. This is the one, so meaning that my left hand is there. And for the very simple version, I do suggest to use fifths in the left hand. Besides, it's so gratifying, and it's probably one of the first rock songs for that matter, because listen to that left hand once I play it. Can you feel it? Sounds like a rock song, doesn't it? So yeah, probably one of the first ones, sort of like rockish versions of the folk songs for that matter. So yeah, but this is a very simple progression. This is the one that we have in there. And I do suggest you to use the fifth. So this is the one that we're going to use for the first part of it, for the first section. Just the fifth, pinky goes to D, then afterwards your left hand goes downwards to C, then downwards again, but it's going to be a B flat, so you just slide. And make sure you don't twist your hand over here, just slide, so that your pinky goes to that B flat and F, and then just 1/5 down, A. And that's it. Okay, so, and over here you can actually sing to yourself even the melody, and you can already adjust like whether you're right or not. And over here you just go faster on the second phrase of it. Back to D minor. Alright, so left hand is basically done. It's just a simple thing. For the right hand, take a look what happens in there. So it is in D minor, and your thumb goes to D minor. Then afterwards we just like default position, 5 fingers, 5 notes, and over here just move the rest of your fingers up, so you can't skip that second note. So second finger goes to F, then G, then A, and then over here with your pinky you go to B flat. And then just to make sure so that you don't slide up and you don't twist your hand again, just slide so that your pinky really easily touches that B flat, because that's precisely what we're going to do. So you just go from the first, from 1 back up to the 5, and then you return backwards to 3. Now over here about the rhythms, there are many variations, because the song is just like 500 years old, so obviously there are many variations on that song. So some of them do have like really even rhythm. Some of them do have a little bit more of a, again, rockish rhythm towards it. So it is entirely up to you what you're going to do in there. Just try out different things and see which one you like the most. Okay, but nonetheless, the position is this one. So you do start up, down to your third finger, then afterwards you're just basically playing C major chord. That's exactly the moment when we switch to the left hand. See? Just with your second one go to E and C. So basically that's the second position. Now take a look what happens afterwards. We do go to the position of B flat major, but we are with our thumb on that C. So while you're holding that one, move your third finger to D, and then it's 5 fingers, 5 notes basically. Almost. So third finger goes to D, and you just go up and down, and then up, D, D, and then you do the same thing, but this time your second one goes from C sharp, and then C sharp and A. So that's an A major chord. Okay, so one more time. So once we finish with C major, third finger goes to D, 3 notes up, D, da, da, D, D, and And then you have a similar pattern over here from C sharp. C sharp, from C sharp, going upwards 3 notes. And that's it. So let's try one more time. Da, da. Second position, third finger goes to D, 3 notes up, D, D, and then from C sharp. That's it. So that's your first sentence. The second sentence over here is more or less similar, but we have a slightly different end. But let's join with your left hand so you can feel great about it. So before joining with the left hand, I really suggest for all of my students to actually emphasize the notes when we are going to play that left hand, that strong beat. So over here it's going to be on the second note. Then that G is the next one. Then once we have the top note, third finger goes to D, and once it goes to that F. And again, once we go to the top. One more time. And like I said, so you can, if you want, you can use a much more relaxed rhythm. Entirely up to you what you like. Alright, once you get those notes, it's a really good idea to start connecting with your left hand. So like we said, so we do have fifths. So prepare your left hand and it goes in on the second note. And once you return to that third, once you have basically that C major chord, left hand goes to C. And once you get that phrase, try it one more time. There it goes, once it's there, third finger goes to that D, and then as soon as you have that top note, this is where your left hand goes to B flat. Again, don't forget, slide. Don't twist your hand like this. And then do the same thing for A. So see, simple. And then it's just basically one thing that you do need to focus for the right hand fingering, and then the rest of it will just fall into place. The hardest thing is just making sure that you don't start over here with your second one, but you do place your middle finger to that D. Because the rest of it is just going to be underneath your fingers. Okay, let's do it one more time. Now, second sentence over here is very similar to the first one. Again, let's just go with the right hand, and then afterwards we'll add the left hand into it. See, the beginning is the same, then third finger goes over here to that D, but this time it's going to be very even. You just literally go up and down. See, it's very, very simple. From the middle to the top, to the bottom, and back to the middle. And when it comes to the left hand over here, you do have, again, on the top note, you will have that B flat. Now, once you have that C sharp, left hand goes to A. And once you have D, yes, you guessed it correctly, it's back to D minor. So that's it. Let's join them together. So the first sentence and the second sentence. Take your time, and this is the base of it. Once you get that one, the rest of it is so simple. Okay, now take a look. There is a second section, like I said, and then afterwards we'll talk about like what else you can do about variations of it. So for the second sections, we do go to our relative major just for a while. So basically, when it comes to our left hand, we just change only the first chord. Instead of playing D minor, we go to our relative major, which is F. But the rest of it is still the same. Remember, it used to be D minor, C, B flat, and A. So now it's going to be, instead of D minor, it's going to be F, C, B flat, A, F, C, B flat, A. But then we finish in the same way as for the second sentence in our first part, so back to D minor. Okay, so left hand basically, like I said, so instead of the first chord, which is D minor, we are playing just F. The rest of it is exactly the same, so you have a little bit of a jump. Now, when it comes to the right hand, again, not that much changes in there, it's just the very, very beginning. So fingering has changed, but the rest of it is exactly the same. So you still have two sentences in there, only the beginning is different. So what goes on in there? We go to F major, similar position, 5 fingers, 5 notes. You start with your pinky on that C, and you do play that first note 2 times. Go down to G, you end up with your second finger in there, then afterwards with your thumb play that E, it's that C major chord that we need to play, and then afterwards roll over with your second one to C. And then you're in the perfect position to continue, because it's exactly the same thing as we've been doing before. Middle finger is already on that D, then, like with the first sentence, here it is, and again, right hand comes back to that F position, and then it's just up and down. Don't forget about that C sharp. And that's it. So here it is. Like I said, so practice that first section, well, a few times until you get that right hand and left hand. Just enjoy the whole music, and you can practice over there even phrase by phrase here, making sure that everything is there. For the second section, it starts right away on the first note. It's even easier, so you just go to that F and exactly at the same time. And again, that G is part of that C major chord, so as soon as you have that G, this is where your left hand goes to C. One more time, practice that one. Don't forget about that roll over, so that's the only thing that you need to focus on. Here it is. Then afterwards your fingers are already in the right place, just relax, pull that thumb from underneath, and there it goes. B flat. Same as with the first sentence, with the first section. Then the second sentence for that second section, again we come back to that F. And then same as like with the second sentence for the first section, up and down. And once we finish up, it's D minor. And as per always with a lot of those older compositions, and maybe actually for that matter for classical compositions like Furlies, like Autojoy, the structure is the following. You have the first part, the first section, then the second section, then back to the first section. And that's it. And since we're playing more or less the same things, you can start experimenting over here. So the very first thing that I would like you to do is basically play the first section here. Second section is like exactly like we've been doing, and once you return to the first section, instead of playing it exactly the same way, just go up scale. So similar things, a right hand goes up and left hand goes up. And I'm sure that you have noticed sometimes I use faster notes, sometimes I use even notes. Listen to your heart and do what it tells you. If you want faster notes, a little bit more of a rhythm in there, a little bit more matchy for that matter, so then just use those ones. If you want to have a little bit more relaxed version, then there it goes.